Over the last 5 years, I've built and I've discovered the laziest and the simplest way to make money online with coaching business. So, if you're a trainer, if you're a coach, if you have something that you can help people with, in this video, I'm going to run you through kind of exactly how you can better articulate your expertise online to strangers and how you can get strangers to buy your coaching program for an awful lot of money and be able to travel the world, living anywhere like I'm living now in Bulgaria currently, living anywhere in the world, make a lot of money and close clients. So, firstly, like why you're here, I'm guessing. Like I'm gonna guess why. I'm gonna guess why you're here on this video, because I've worked with over 100 plus coaches, trainers, consultants in the last 10 years, and one of the biggest issues a lot of the time that they have is that they're very good at what they do. They're very good at getting their client results. They're very good kind of at that side of things. They're very good at actually coaching their clients in terms of being able to get them a result. But the biggest thing they actually struggle is actually doing the lead generation tasks, getting enough leads for the door, closing these leads, converting them into clients, which the reality is a lot of the biggest issues with that actually coming from communicating how good they are at what they do. So if you're here, you know you can get your client results, but you don't really know how to communicate, how to articulate that online, so you can get a lot of clients through the door. This video is here to solve that, so you can make anywhere between $300 to $500 a day per day with your coaching business. And just for context, my business has been doing that as the real bare minimum in the last 5 years. So for the last 5 years consistently, my online business has been generating at least $342 off the top of my head. $342 is a minimum per day, is what it's generating. So, you know, I like to think I've got a reason that you can trust me when it comes to this, right? So there's three kind of key components that we're going to dive into this video in terms of how to do it. Firstly, like the reason I call this lazy, or the laziest way to make money online, is because I'm a massive introvert, right? I don't really like to spend my whole day taking sales calls. I don't really like to be speaking all day. Like my social battery gets zapped really quickly, hence why I've called it the laziest way. So I just have to be really strategic with how I do things, just because I have friends, business owners, like people I know that are massive extroverts, and they can just go like 24/7 all day speaking to people and stuff like that, and they can make lots of money. I'm much more lower energy, much more kind of calm, and my mental battery gets zapped. So that's why I built this strategy, just so it can make my life easier. It's done wonders. Allowed me to make $2.5 million selling fitness coaching programs in the last 5 years. So it works. But it comes down to three key components, right? In any coaching business, one of the first things we need to have to do this is some kind of an element or some kind of a process which you're able to charge at least a premium for your coaching program. Because a lot of the time, for the clients we work with, for the students we have, if you have a coaching program that's like super low ticket, like $20, $50, $100, you just need so many people to get onto that program to actually make any kind of significant money. It's just too hard to do, right? Unless you have a big following, right? So the very first thing we need to look at with building out this kind of lazy process to get clients is to have an offer which you can charge comfortably at least $1,000 for, right? At least $1,000, at least £1,000. So, you know, that could be a 3 month program, a 4 month program, a 6 month program. It doesn't matter, right? It just needs to get your client results. It just needs to be really well articulated. We'll get into that anyway. But you just need to be able to get your client results, and you just need to have that program in there. So, you know, if you have someone jump on a call with you, you can quite kind of comfortably, quite effortlessly and quite ethically be like, okay, can I pitch that person quite ethically a 3 month, 4 month, a 6 month offer? So yeah, that's where I would start off with. I'd start off with building your coaching program and having kind of the pillars where you can charge that. So as an example, we recently had one of my clients, one of my personal clients, build out um, a bride's wedding transformation program. So she's charging like £1,500 for a 4 month transformation. It's fully online, the coaching program, and it's such a good program because it's so well articulated. Like, it's a 4 month program. This is the type of result someone's going to get, from the start to finish. You have your wedding coming up. You're feeling stressed. You're feeling anxious. You don't know if you're going to be able to get in shape, and because of that, like, she can charge a premium for that program. So it doesn't have to be something so specific. It doesn't have to be something so dialed in. But what it does need to do is you just need to be able to charge at least that $1,000. So it just needs to have your core pillars of your program there. Once you have your core pillars of the program, um, it needs to be able you need to be able to clearly demonstrate, like, where the start is and where the finish is. That would be the first thing I'd look at in terms of making money. The second thing you need to be doing after you've done that is actually start having some way of letting people know about what you do. For our students, for our clients, the easiest way we do that to start off with is just look at some processes for, like, people that they may know already. So people in their network, people that they have as friends, as family, that might be able to introduce them to other people that they can sign up to their coaching program. So we usually do this with WhatsApp because the reply rate and the open rate is really high. What we want to do is build out, and this is like, when you're starting out, what you want to do is just have some kind of a message, some kind of a frame to get someone that doesn't know, that knows you but doesn't really know how you coach people or what you do, to be able to sign them to your coaching program. So you just need to build out a message framework to kind of get that intro and move people forward from that place to actually being potential clients. The easiest way to do that after you've built out your offer is to actually kind of drop a message that just saying something along the lines of, like, hey name, hey Gemma, hey Johnny, I've just been working really hard. I've built out this program. It's for this type of person. It helps them achieve this type of result. Would you be interested, or do you know someone who might? And all of a sudden, you've got a huge lead list just by sending that message to 10 people, 20 people, as a voice note. All of a sudden, you have some leads there. You have some people that either have some friends that might be interested for, like, to start off with, or you might have some of their friends be interested in. The beauty of starting your business out like this as well is, if you send that message out, you can get some really good, some fast results. And if they're a friend of a friend, there's also going to be a lot more kind of know, like, and trust. And you don't necessarily need to start posting content like this right away to get clients. That's the second bit, easiest and simplest way to start getting traffic through the door and move that forward. And then the final thing on top of that, as well as a follow up, is you should be doing these two. You should be doing a second step to start off with, and then what we want to do is get you away from doing so much kind of messaging after a while, right? Because messaging for a lot of people is quite mentally exhausting, quite taxing, quite boring. It's not really what people want to be doing with their life and their business. So once you have a few clients through the door, once you've seen that kind of system, that process work, you have something that's repeatable, you can get your client results, consistently online. It's like, throughout this process, you've done step 2, but as you do step 2 and you start doing step 2, you do step 3, and step 3 is just posting content on here. So you want to be posting content on Instagram rather. So you want to be posting, like, short form content that's super specific to the people you want to work with, super specific to your offer. You want to be solving problems. You want to be going viral with the people you want to work with within your niche. You want to get people to know about your expertise, why you're such a good expert in what you do. And you also want to be handling the objections of your audience, right? One of the biggest things you can be doing as well is, like, now that you've got more knowledge, once you've got more kind of data in terms of what people are giving you on these calls that you're taking, when people are coming up to you and they're saying, you're going to have a large percentage of people signing up and paying for your coaching. But you're also going to have like 20%, 30% of people that might not be the right fit for right now. They're going to give you all the reasons it's not the right fit to get started with your coaching right now. So it might be because of time, it might be because of money, it might be because they want to speak to their partner, whatever it might be. One of the best things you can do once you have these objections is start boxing these objections off. So what I mean by that is like make a list of all of the ones that come up and start addressing and covering these in your content, right? Start talking about why, you actually save money. If the big objections you get is your program is maybe too expensive, one of the very best things you can do is just start, talking about why you actually save money if you start, going on this transformation program, because you don't eat out as much, or whatever it might be. And if you have these 4 content pillars in your content quite consistently, so you have content which gets people to know about your expertise, if you have content which is solving problems, content which is handling and covering the objections, and content that's also getting you leads and eyeballs on your page and going viral, it's quite physically impossible. If you just tick off these three kind of bullet points from the video today, you're not going to be able to make money online and help an awful lot of people as well as a byproduct. So get a really good offer built out that you can charge at least, 997 to about, at least $1,000, £1,000 for your coaching program. Get that built out. Once you have that, start telling people about it, and then also alongside that, start creating content, sharing and talking about it, and then also talking about the client results that you are getting, achieving it. Follow those three checklists. It's quite literally physically impossible. You can't grow, and make money, but a lot of time people don't, because they massively overcomplicate the process. If you find this video helpful, make sure to subscribe. I'm posting content like this daily. If you want to book yourself a one-to-one call with myself personally, where we audit your business, we find out what the strengths are, what we need to work on to really drive and achieve your personal goals. I'll leave you with this opportunity to do that. From the description down below, there'll be a link to book a call, and see you soon.